Hey everyone, Diego Mancini here. Thanks for joining me in this video. Today we're going to talk about common mistakes for beginners on the bass. These mistakes are not in any particular order. They're just things that I've seen with my students throughout the years, and some of the things that I did myself when I was starting to learn. And I thought it would be interesting to point them out to you so you can be aware and try to steer clear from them. So one of the first mistakes that I would like to point out is when you focus on the instrument instead of focusing on your technique. A lot of people try to focus on buying the most expensive bass they can instead of working on their technique first, because the sound is on your fingertips. The label on your bass doesn't really do anything for the sound if you are not that good of a player. So focus on your skills first and try to work with the instrument that you have. The good players, the good musicians, they can bring out of the instrument the best sound that that instrument can provide to them. So focus on your technique first, and then gradually try to find the instrument that best suits your playing style. Another very common mistake is an incorrect study regimen. I usually say that, those students that only study on the day of the class are the same thing as people that only floss when they go to the dentist. Your dentist knows that you don't floss, and I know that you don't practice if you come to class and you only practice on that day. So make sure that you practice a little bit every day and you have a very structured study regimen, or else it just doesn't really work. That can work both ways, different ways as well. For example, studying too much may injure yourself, and studying too little, you're not going to see too much progress and you might give up on your bass playing. So make sure to space everything out evenly so you can see enough progress to keep you going. Another mistake is having some preconceived notions about bass. I've heard from a lot of students like, a real bass player only plays 4 strings, or a real bass player doesn't use a pick, or a real bass player never uses pedals, or whatever. And all those notions, they kind of hinder the development when you're trying to become a better player. Everything is valid when it comes to music. So you really have to listen to the music first and see what technique best applies to that song or that style that you're playing. Sometimes a song needs a pick. Sometimes a song needs a good pedal. Sometimes you're gonna need more than 4 strings. So it's really up to the music to tell you what you're gonna need to do as a player. So try to leave those preconceived notions at the door before you start studying. Try to take in as much knowledge as you can, because that's only beneficial for you. Another common mistake is only listening to and only playing the styles of music that you like. There's no problem in having a favorite style, and you can focus on that style. But it's also really interesting, if you're willing to become a better player, to get to know different styles, get to know different players and different people. You might want to know, more about Latin rhythms. You might want to find out about African rhythms. You might want to, delve deeper into country music. Even if you don't like country music, even if you're a jazz guy, it's interesting to know where country came from. And particularly if you like one specific style, it's really important to know where that style comes from. So if you're a jazz guy, you have to really focus on spirituals and blues and Dixieland jazz and see where that progression takes you. So try to approach music with an open mind. You don't have to like everything, but it's important to know everything. And the last mistake that I'm going to talk about is, and this is very common, is comparing yourself to others. I see this a lot of times, and I've been a victim of this myself. When you're practicing with other people, especially you are in a school or a college environment, and you have a classmate who's developing at a much faster rate than you are, that can be a little discouraging, and you might want to give up on the instrument because you see someone else in the same conditions that you are and they're developing a little bit faster. Don't focus on that. Focus on your development. Focus on trying to become better than you were yesterday. And every day you're gonna, add another inch to that goal that you're trying to be better. So comparing yourself to yourself is healthy. Comparing yourself to others might hinder your development. The method I'm going to recommend today is Ed Friedland's bass method. You can buy it in the complete edition, or you can buy the 3 volumes separately. They come with a CD. The examples are very well recorded, and it covers, sight reading. It comes with tablature and the sheet music, an array of styles, and it's really good when you're starting because it covers the very basic of technique and how to hold your bass and tuning and everything, and then it leads very gradually to more complex notions. So it's a very good method if you're starting right now on the bass. Just want to make it clear that I'm not getting paid for any of this. I'm just recommending methods that I find helpful for my students and that I've used, and I've got good results out of them. And so you can find them on ebook versions, or you can buy it on your favorite website or your music store, and I highly recommend that. I want to thank the people at DaCapo Studios here in Belo Horizonte, Brazil. I want to thank all the people from Labella who are my partners, and I only use Labella strings on my basses, and I highly recommend them, so you can check them out on the link that I'm going to have in the description. And I hope I see you guys on our next episode. See you then. That's it.